Hey, what's going on YouTube? So I haven't uploaded a video in the last few weeks. My family went on vacation and then we all came back from vacation with COVID. So it's been kind of a crazy few weeks. But I did receive back the first part of my very first PSA order from PSA. If you remember right, I sent in one card that was a super express order, and then the rest were all an economy order. So I did receive back the super express order, and seeing the whole process for myself for the first time was kind of interesting. They receive your cards and then they enter all the cards into their system, and so then you can go in and review what they've entered into their system to make sure that they've entered them in as the correct cards, which was kind of interesting. But another interesting step in the process is after they grade the card and encapsulate it, then it goes to another grader for their review to make sure that they think that the grade of the card is accurate. And that's a step in the process that I didn't know happened. And so I thought that was kind of interesting. I think that it would be interesting to have the numbers that behind all that. It'd be interesting to know how often the grade actually changes due to the review stage of the grading process. And how often that actually happens. It would seem to me that it would be a little bit awkward because you're basically reviewing a coworker's work, making sure that you agree with their work, and so I think that could be kind of awkward. So I wonder how often that actually does they do actually change the grades. So I thought that was kind of a interesting step in the process. I'm assuming a lot of the time, the second grader probably, even if they maybe disagree a little bit, maybe it got graded an eight, but the second reviewer thought maybe an 8.5. I'm sure that they assume that that's close enough, and so they leave the grade as an 8. So so unless it's way off, I'm sure that they probably don't change it. So anyway, and this was the whole process for the Super Express obviously went very quickly, which was kind of cool. The whole process from the time they received the card to the time I received the card back was less than a week. I believe they received the card on June 7th, and then I received the card back at my door on the 13th. So it all went very quickly, and so it was kind of nice to see the process happen very quickly and be able to kind of follow the process on a quick order like that. Another thing I didn't. So my second part of my order is an economy order, and I wasn't expecting that order to come back as quickly, obviously, and the grading time of the economy orders is 90 days as opposed to 14 days for the Super Express. So I knew that it was going to be a little bit longer of a process, but then they actually started my economy order shortly after my Super Express order, and so I was thinking to myself, wow, this isn't going to be too far behind my Super Express order. But it actually got to the grading stage, and it's been stuck in the grading stage for multiple weeks now. So which is, again, isn't unexpected because I knew that it was going to be a longer process, but I didn't know where it was going to pause in the process. So so yeah, it's my other order is still in the grading process and probably will be for several more weeks. So but it was nice to kind of see the whole process happen quickly and be able to follow along. So the card that I had graded at Super Express was a 2011 Topps Update Mike Trout Diamond Anniversary, and so that's why I had to submit it at the higher level because it's a more valuable card. And so I did get this back, and it wasn't the best results. We did end up with a PSA 9 on it. And so, I was obviously hoping for a PSA 9 or 10 on this card, but to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed in a PSA 9. As you can see, this card is in great condition. It's perfectly centered left to right, top to bottom on the front there. Corners are sharp. The one issue on this card, one tiny issue on this card, is when you look at the back here, you can see that it's slightly off center left to right. And so I'm thinking that that is the flaw in the card that made it a 9. And looking at PSA's grading standards, the card can actually be, in order for it to be a PSA 10, the card can actually be up to 75-25 on the back centering. And I wouldn't say that this card is 75-25 on the back. It is slightly, I would say maybe 60-40. It's not terribly off center on the back here, left to right. Top to bottom's perfect. So so I've been thinking about what I want to do with this card, and I'm probably gonna have to continue thinking about what I want to do with this card. I don't know if I want to snap it and send it again. The reason that, you know, it's kind of disappointing to get a PSA 9 instead of a PSA 10 is obviously the value difference, and the value difference on this card from a PSA 9 to a 10 is huge. The PSA 9 sells for about $5,000, where the PSA 10 sells for over $10,000. So, you know, you're looking at a $5,000 difference from a PSA 9 to a PSA 10, and so that obviously, you know, plays into it, where it's going to be expensive for me to, if I do decide to snap this card and resend it, that's obviously going to be kind of expensive, but I think that the value difference of this card, if I was able to send it back in and get a PSA 10 on this card, it would be obviously worth it. So I'm going to have to think about it, and feel free to comment below with your opinion on there, whether or not you would resend, or if you notice any other flaws on this card that maybe I'm missing. Go ahead and comment below. But yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to continue to think about and decide what I want to do. So anyway, I'm excited to have the card back. I'm excited to have it graded finally. This is obviously a card that should be graded, and to have it encapsulated so it, you know, can't get damaged in some fluke way down the line is nice as well. So but yeah, I'm just gonna have to decide what I want to do, if I want to snap and resend or not. So anyway, wanted to share the results with you guys, as I'm sure you saw the previous video when I was preparing the order. So thanks for checking this video out, and go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't yet. All right, everybody. Thanks. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.